concealer. So it's the MAC concealer. It's the one that comes in the eyeshadow case. I believe it's the 208 brush. So it's a really small defining one. I really like this one just because it really helps with making the line nice and neat. So I'm not even using a mirror, I'm using the actual camera so that you guys can really see how I'm doing it. Again, I'm only doing this because we're doing a dramatic look, but for like everyday looks or a natural look, I wouldn't do this step. I would just kind of put the base all over. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I can use the same concealer for the base, but I like to use an actual eyeshadow base. So my favorite one is from MAC. I used to work at MAC for about, I believe, 4 to 5 years. So I have been always stuck to most of their products. I have ventured out, so I am going to be doing this makeup look with Profusion Cosmetics. So it's a new palette. I kind of wanted to try it out with you guys. This one's called Soft Ochre. You can't really read it, but it's a light, creamy, kind of like yellowish undertone. I really like this one because it kind of cancels out the yellowness. It cancels out the redness that's on your eyes. I always recommend a lighter tone for a base because it really just makes the colors, any eyeshadow you put on your eye, it makes the colors really stand out. So I'm using this flat brush from MAC. It doesn't have the actual number because I've used it so much and it's kind of my go-to. It's a 252. That's what it is. It's a 252. It's a nice big flat synthetic brush, and I really recommend a synthetic brush when you're applying these kind of creamy textures. So we're gonna rub it all the way from lash line all the way up to where the line is that we carved out underneath the brow. You can also use this to go underneath the eye, and this will help with any kind of creasing because it's also a primer. It's a little bit thick. It's more for like someone that has that really greasy lid. So I definitely recommend this. I use this on all my clients, and I use this on basically anyone that has all kinds of skin types, and it still works. So I haven't seen any complaints. All right, so let's get into the eyeshadow. It's Profusion. It's the Sienna palette. It's called Sienna's. I just bought it at Walmart yesterday and I thought it was really cool with the colors. So this is the palette. It has some really nice colors in here. Perfect for the fall. Perfect for your even everyday looks, and we'll get more into that later on, but right now we're going to be going more for like that dramatic, you know, glammed up look for Thanksgiving. And with a matte color here, this one, And we're gonna put that all over. So let's check out this eyeshadow palette because I've been doing makeup for a long time, so if it's good, I will tell you if it's good, if it's worth it. Hey, it's $10. $10 eyeshadow palette. Not bad for a drugstore. So I'm gonna make sure it's touching where I put the concealer, and I'm gonna drag it down just a bit. You don't have to do mattes. I know a lot of people say, oh, use a matte because shimmer looks terrible, but honestly, if you're gonna do matte colors on your lid, go for the shimmer up top. You gotta kind of even it out. So since we're gonna do shimmer on the lid, I recommend matte for your highlight, a matte. I'm using the brush, by the way. This is the brush from the palette. It's actually really cool. I love this brush. This is a really good blending brush. And it comes with also a flat brush. It's kind of like a microfiber ending. So it's got, you know, both textures. I'm not really big on using this kind of end of the brush for like patting on color, but so far it worked pretty good. And this one is perfect for blending, so I am surprised that a palette actually comes with a brush that's double-ended, and they look pretty good, so let's try it out. We're gonna go in with, let's start off with Dippity. We're gonna try out this yellow color. Yellow. I'm not gonna lie, I don't do much yellows in my crease. But for this look, I wanted to try this palette like no other. And you know what? This brush is coming through. With Oasis, that's this color right here. Same brush. Kind of like to use the same brush because it's a blending brush. Who cares? Unless I'm starting, and it's in the same color family, like light tones. I like to use the same brush. You don't have to keep changing brushes unless you're looking for more defined right in here, or if you're really changing colors. So now we're gonna go into the actual inner crease. So it's the part where your lid folds. This part, don't go too high because then you're gonna cover the yellow. We don't wanna do that. So there is some fallout. It's not as bad though. I'm swirling my brush in the product, and that's how much fallout I have. So it's actually not that bad. Now we're gonna go in with a deeper color. We're gonna go in with, oh, that's the color. Now we're gonna go in with Daring right here. And I'm gonna use the same brush. This is more of like a deeper orange tone. And this I'm focusing as well. All right, so now we're gonna get into I'm picking more of a cranberry tone. This is very fall color type of look. It's something different. This one's called Bite. But we're not going to go into that one yet. We're going to do one more color to just blend out those tones. I'm going to go in with Devoted. It's like a pretty mauve purple matte tone. Again, I'm using mattes. Going in with the same brush because I'm going from light to dark. So you can do that and not feel like you're, not feel like your brush is overpowered with so much color. Because if you're going from dark to light, yeah, that's going to be tough. That's real tough. This color is really pretty. I'm really into those mauve-y tones. So we're gonna go in with this kind of brush, or we can go in with the synthetic one. Synthetic, I recommend you wetting it. With this kind of brush, you don't really need to wet it as much. So we're gonna try it not wet and see how it looks. My Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. I'm gonna wet the brush, go in with it. Oh yeah, it goes on a lot better when the brush is wet and more smooth. Not bad. I think I'm gonna go in with my Huda Beauty. I love this palette. We're gonna go in with Saffron. Such a pretty name. And I'm gonna use the same brush. I'm gonna use this brush right here. We're gonna go in, tap it off, always tap it off a little bit. And I'm just gonna kind of blend out. There we go. There we go. It looks a little bit more blended because it's like the same tone as what I put on my lid, except matte. And rule of thumb, always use mattes for your crease. Something I always went by. Alright, so I'm gonna go in with my eyeliner. Alright. Such a difference with eyeliner. Eyeliner is my go-to. I don't think I ever do any eyeshadow looks without eyeliner because it shapes your eyes. It does everything. So now we're gonna go in with curling iron. The curling iron. I seriously said curling iron. Lash curler. Duh. Okay, we're gonna go with the lash curler and we're gonna curl these puppies. Okay. And before we put lashes on, I like to give a nice little coat to the lashes. Doesn't have to be full blown. It can be just a light coat. In with these lashes are pretty dramatic. These are the Avas from Amy June. So I'm using the Star Glue. Throwing it everywhere. Star Glue. This one's actually really good. It's cheap. It's like a couple dollars, and it actually works better than the Duo, to be honest. I used to always be about Duo because, of course, I was a matte girl. All I used was Duo. And then some girl told me about it when I went to go buy lashes, and she said, try it. It really works. And I said, I'm going to try. It's cheap. Why not? So I did, and now it's my go-to lash glue. To plop these puppies on, I'm going to start in the middle and then just kind of push it in. Now don't worry if it gets on your liner, it's clear and that should go away. Them on so I could attach them to yours and it doesn't look like you got 2 layers of lashes. All right, so you see all that? We're gonna take that off. So this trick is, I like to use a moisturizer. Put some on the back of my hand. I really like this moisturizer from MAC. It's the Strobe Cream. And it's very hydrating, good for all skin types. I'm going to use this flat brush right here from MAC. So you can use any flat one, doesn't matter. And I'm just going to apply it under my eyes. And then I'm going to use this to kind of clean up whatever eyeshadow. There you go. Oops. See, that part's gone. My face got all red. All right, primer. I'm going to try this new primer from e.l.f. I have never used the e.l.f. primer before, but hey, let's try it. So, I know I didn't open it. Let me open it. All right, we are back. So, here's the e.l.f. unboxed. That was a little hard to undo it, especially with nails. Okay, so this one's the regular e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. Let's try this out. I'm just gonna pour some on my fingers. Oh, feels nice. Smooth. Smells a little weird, but not bad. It smells like, I don't even know how to explain what it smells, but it doesn't smell great. It just smells like cream, some kind of cream. All right. I like to use my fingers, warms up the product, and it goes better into your skin. Now we're gonna go in with the concealer. I'm gonna start off with, I really like the LA Girl. This is the Pro Concealer, and I'm using the color Creamy Beige. And this I like to put only right underneath the eyes. This Creamy Beige color has that peachy tone, so it does cancel out any of the darkness underneath your eyes. And I am going to use a synthetic brush, kind of like a buffering one. And we're gonna go in and just blend it out. I'm not gonna go everywhere, mainly underneath the eyes. And push it out. I kind of like to do a little bit on the nose because the nose does have a lot of redness. All right. So I only put a small amount. I don't put a whole lot. It's not best to put too much just because you're going to still put the foundation and we don't want it to look cakey. So next we're going to do the foundation. And this is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte, my go-to favorite foundation. This is in my kit for all my clients. It is my go-to foundation. It's very full coverage, medium to full coverage, lightweight, matte, long wearing. It's everything you can dream of like a long wearing foundation for like going out, party, wedding. I use it on most of my clients who are very oily, and I have not had a problem with it with anyone. So best stuff. So we're gonna go in with this one. I like to put it on my hand as kind of like a palette so that it warms up. I'm gonna use a brush. Let's get the brush. Brush wise, you don't have to use brush. You can use a sponge. I like to use both. It's kind of preference. If I'm in a hurry, brush is kind of easier. Sponges takes a little bit longer. So I'm just going to grab some and start blending away. Circular motions. Brush I like. I bought this, I can't remember where I bought it, but it's like has a nice flat kind of angled look to it, and it buffs really well. Kind of gives you that airbrushed look. Now let's go in with a light colored concealer. This is to brighten up underneath the eyes. Definitely need some brightening up. I really like this one. This is the Maybelline Age Rewind, and I like to get the color Neutralizer. It's kind of like that yellow undertone. So this is more for brightening. Has that yellowish undertone base. And we're going to drag it a little bit down, not so much. A little bit here. Down the bridge of your nose, just a tad bit. Forehead, and a little bit on the chin. All right. Again, you can use a sponge. You can use a brush. I'm going to use a small little sponge. I'm just going to wet it. Just go in and just kind of blend it. Pat. It just happens. We can't pick and choose our nose. Let's see. So now we're going to go in with a contour. The contour, and this is more for chiseling out, kind of creating that more perfect oval face that is considered to be like the perfect face is the oval kind of shape. So what we're going to do is just kind of carve out what you want to carve out. So gonna give you that thinner look. So I'm going to do just oops, the edge right here. And then I'm also going to go down the bridge of my nose. Not the bridge of my nose. I'm going to go on the sides of my nose right here. I'm going to take a dual fiber brush. I like more of the short stubby one. This one really helps with blending. This is a MAC brush as well. This is the 130. Okay, I'm going to take this and start blending out. I kind of drag it up a little bit. So don't worry about this being too much. looks a little too much. Just a little bit, but it's not. Is here. Okay. And we're also going to blend out what's on the forehead. This is so that my forehead doesn't look as large. It diminishes the, so it looks, doesn't look as big. I kind of use the excess of what was left, and I kind of go a little bit under my chin. And then for my nose, so I'm just trying to create here, a smaller nose. All right, so I know it looks a little much, but I'm gonna go back in with this brush. And I'm gonna blend this out. So this is going to take away the harshness of the darkness that I used for the contour. It'll blend it out. Okay, so now I'm going to use my Studio Fix powder, and I'm going to use this to set on my face. Okay, I'm just going to go in and perfect. So now we're gonna go in with, let me just fix my hair. We're gonna go in with the bronzer. The bronzer I really like is the Hoola Benefit. It's one of my favorite bronzers. Used to be Give Me Sun. That was like my go-to, but when I discovered Hoola, always like it. It has that like cool brown tone, so it's not too orangey and it's not too gray, if that makes sense. So we're gonna go in. I'm gonna use this angled brush here. It wasn't dirty, it was clean. I just dipped it in right now. This one's the 168. It's 168 brush. It's an angled brush from MAC. And we're just going to go over what we just did with our contour. Okay, whatever it takes to give me that more chiseled nose. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with the blush. Okay, so this one is another one of my favorites. I know, MAC, I love. It's always going to be one of my favorite products is MAC. This one is a really good neutral pink. It's called Melba, It's kind of like an in-between pink and peach tone. So it kind of goes with everything. And that's what I really love about that blush. So I'm gonna also use, I can use a different brush, but we're gonna stick with the same one, angled one that I used for my bronzer. I know it's not gonna change the color really. You're barely going to tap in like that. And then smile. And you're going to put it, start at the apples of your cheek. And you're going to drag a little bit up. Okay, again, tap, smile, apples of the cheek, and drag it up diagonally. My favorite highlight is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. And it is such a pretty gold tone. I just love, one of my favorite highlighters. Before it was the MAC Soft and Gentle, but I like that one too. That one kind of gives more of that frosty, silvery pink tone. The Amrezy one from Anastasia is more of that goldish, bronzy tone. Okay, so I'm going to use kind of like a more dense brush. This is also from MAC. It is the 109. It's kind of got that dense thickness to it. Going to kind of swirl it side to side. And I'm going to go right in this. This is more of your high point right here. Don't go too far. Just about there. Wow. Can you see how much this highlight glows? Again. Oops. This is also a really good one. For your inner eyes. So let's plop some of that on. I'm going to, so that it can give me that really nice highlighted look, I'm going to wet the brush a little bit. And I'm going to stick it in. Only focus on the inner corner of the eye. So if you can see right there, I'm dabbing it. I'm going a little bit under. Get on this side, dab. Right. And then you can do a little bit right here. I don't really put too much on this part of my nose. All right, so now we're gonna go under the eyes. The part for under the eyes, I like to do at this point of my makeup or anyone's makeup, just because I already did the concealer, I already set everything, and it's gonna be a lot easier when applying your under eye shadow. So we're gonna go back in with the Profusion Palette. And we're gonna start off with this color. This is the Oasis. We're gonna start off with Oasis under the eyes. I didn't start with the yellow because the yellow is not really gonna show that much, and we don't really wanna go like full blown with a bunch of colors under the eyes. Okay, back in. There will be fallout, but because you already set it and it's minimal fallout, it should come right off with the brush, a fluffy brush. All right. Now we're gonna go in with Daring. This one right here. And we're also going to dab it right above it We're not going to drag it down as much. The first one, drag it down just a tiny bit. Okay. And now we're going to go in with a deeper tone. So this one's also from MAC. I also have one from Morphe. It's very similar. The Morphe one is just a tad bit angled. If you can see right there. Either one works. I really like more of a flat one. This one's from MAC. And this one is the 212. 212 from MAC. This has been such a good brush to me. So because this palette doesn't have a dark tone, we're gonna go back in with our Huda Beauty with the deeper tone that I used right in the crease. We're gonna go back in with that color right here, Saffron. And we're going to focus that right on the lash line and just kind of push it down. Same with the other side. All right. So now we're going to go in, well, you know what? Let's go that one extra step and we're going to put a little bit of black on that lash line. I'm not really big on putting black in my waterline, but putting it on the lash line still gives you that darkness, but not too dark to where your eye looks closed. So we're going to go in with a black shadow. And for that, I'm going to go in with my Morphe palette. This one is the 25C. And I'm going to go in with this black one right here. And we're going to go right closest to the lash line as possible. You don't have to drag it all the way in. You can just even put it right on the outer. Just like that. I kind of stop there. I don't go all the way in. You don't need to, unless your eye shape calls for it. My eye shape, stopping right here is about good. Okay. So now I'm going to go in with the mascara and we're going to coat the bottom lashes. All right, so now we're gonna go in with the brows. Brows I like to leave last, specifically because we did that first, we outlined it, and then with the foundation and powder and everything, sometimes if you already have your brows done, depending if you use a sponge or a brush, it could mess up your brows. So I kind of avoid all that altogether again to make the process faster. And I do the brows last. Now we're gonna go in with my brows, and the brow pencil I'm gonna use is Morphe. This is new, I just got this and it works really well. This one is in Latte, and it has a really thin pencil end, and then it has the spoolie on the other side, which is nice. So because I already have pretty thick brows, I don't really need a whole lot. Move everything. Actually, no, I need my mirror. So I'm going to use this to fill in my brows. I'm honestly more of an eyeshadow person, but I don't have my eyeshadow, my brow powder. It's my Anastasia Beverly Hills one. I can't find it. So I ended up finding this Morphe one when I went to the Morphe store. So for this video, we're doing the pencil, but most of the videos we're gonna do are mostly shadow, and most of the times when I do makeup, it's with shadow. I like it most because it's very natural looking and it blends in very well and it's not too excessive. What I do like about this pencil is that it also gives you that natural look. All right, so that doesn't look so boxy kind of, because you see how it kind of gives you that boxy look, and my brows look a lot thicker. I'm going to use the spoolie end. The spoolie end just kind of blends it out. All right, so now that the brows are done, to the lips. I'm going to use the Milani. This is one of my go-to lipsticks. It's a matte lip color called Precious. You can kind of see it. There you go. It's a matte lip color. And
let's dive right in. And by the way, he smells so good. I just want to eat him.
so this is the final look. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys learned. If you would like to keep watching more videos, please click the subscribe button down below. And if you have any comments about the video, or if you want to watch certain other videos, I would love more ideas, although I do have a lot of videos in store for you guys. So excited. I'm excited to finally do my YouTube channel. I have been doing makeup for 16 years, and please like this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.